Hey everybody, this is Claire, and this is Small Joyful Things. As always, I go to thrift stores, or I go to estate sales, or sometimes I buy things from Craigslist. Haven't had much luck with estate sales right now because it always goes to auction, and I keep getting outbid. Can't really do anything about that, unfortunately. Anyway, I try to find kind of interesting or cool stuff, and then I try to find out as much as I can about them, and then I show you guys about them. So here's what I've got today. This is just weird, and you're just gonna have to bear with me, okay? So this is a bolo tie. And I'm sure for a lot of you, you're just gonna look at this and going, Claire, why are you showing this to us? This is not weird or whatever. This is literally just a bolo tie. And for context, I'm from Ireland, right? I grew up in the middle of nowhere in rural Ireland. Essentially, things like this did not exist. They just didn't. It was just like, if I saw something like this, it would be like in the movies or on TV or something, and it was usually worn by a character from like the south of the US, like usually from Texas or the giant Stetson or something like that, and with the outrageous accent, and they'd be wearing something like this bolo tie thing, and I never knew what they were called. I literally just like saw them and I thought, oh, that's the thing that cowboys and older men from the American South will wear with a white shirt, always with a white shirt. It's weird. Anyway, I spotted this, and the first thing it is that I actually kind of picked it up and gone, hey, it's that thing, because I couldn't remember the name of it. I'm sure I'd heard the name at some point. Didn't it completely bypassed me, like I'd completely forgotten it. I ended up looking it up. Okay, and it's like, oh, okay, so it's a bolo tie, and it's just your basic like replacement for a tie, except you're, I guess, pretending to be a cowboy, or formal wear for cowboys, I guess. And this one is just kind of cool. I picked it up and I was like, that just looks weird and vintage, and I want it, and just, yeah, weird kind of Americana stuff. Let's find this and see what the story is. And the thing that got me was this. I was just like, it has a big A, and there's an eagle that looks like it's kind of having a heart attack, but I can't tell. Okay, just an eagle being distressed, possibly. And the actual tie itself is just this very nice braided leather. So I was like, oh, this is probably something fairly cool. Now, can I actually measure it? Here's the question. Let's, yeah, there we go. Let's see, probably the longest thing I've ever had to measure. It is 19 inches on one side. So like, because I'm not good at maths, 38 inches? 38 inches long? Yeah, there we go. That's totally right, and you can't, no one's gonna say otherwise. Okay, anyway, so I ended up going and doing a bunch of research trying to figure out, because I thought, okay, this looks kind of brass, this looks really interesting. It's probably, the A probably stands for America. Look, it's even got the little, a little star at the top. It's got to be something kind of, weird and interesting and from the American South. And yeah, maybe it's old, maybe it's really old. I was like, probably not, because this is leather, obviously, and if it was very old, it would be just more destroyed than it is. So vintage, okay. And I had a brilliant stroke of luck about figuring out what this logo is. Literally, I just didn't expect it. Okay, I am on a few different subreddits, one of which is the last collecting one, but another one that I'm on because I have an interest in that is the bottle digging one. So the bottle digging subreddit is basically for people who go out and they dig up old glass bottles, and it's more of a thing, I think, in the UK than it is in the US, especially because there's so much more old bottles in the UK. There's like even a bunch of kind of pretty cool YouTube videos that I've seen of people basically going out to the Thames and doing a thing called mudlarking, where they go and actually start digging up like ancient Victorian porcelain, like ceramics or pieces of even Roman pottery or Roman glass. Like that's That's that kind of stuff. And, you know, so bottle digging is it's a thing. People do it, and I have an interest in it because I have an interest in old glass. But I spotted this post, and there was a guy asking, like, I have this bottle and it's got this weird logo on it, and I want to know what this is. And the logo was the exact same as this. And I was like, holy shit, sorry my language, holy crap, that's such a coincidence. But I ended up immediately clicking in going like, oh my God, what is that logo from? And someone actually says, hey, that's Anheuser Busch, the big beer company, the guys who make Budweiser. and I was just like, wow, okay, so what I've actually got here is it's not like a, you know, vintage piece of Americana. It's actually like a beer collectible. It is probably a promotional thing produced by Anheuser Busch. And then I did a bit more research basically on the logo and a few other things about Bolo Ties and everything. And as far as I can tell, this particular Bolo Tie comes probably from the early 80s. When Bolo Ties started becoming more of a fashion statement again, they started getting more popular. It was probably made for promotional reasons. It's kind of nice. It's like there's no marks or anything on it. There's literally just the clip at the back and it's been painted flat. There's no logo or anything. There's no made in whatever. I did even just I took the cord out to see if there was anything underneath it. There is not. There's just the little clasp itself and that's it. And for some reason, they glued a piece of leather with feathers embossed onto it, onto the wing of the bird. Why? Could not tell you. It's one of those things that does not make a whole lot of sense. Like, you couldn't just go with the whole brass thing itself. Yeah, I don't know. It's for promotional stuff. It seems like a lot of work for something. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe this was made for someone at Anheuser Busch. It's weird, but anyway, do actually have some pictures. Not of this particular one, unfortunately. But I did take a quick look around to see, like, was this actually a thing? Like, do vintage Anheuser Busch Bolo Ties actually exist? And yeah, it is like a whole thing. Like, Anheuser Busch did these Bolo Ties, these kind of, like, I guess promotional things, or they made them for whatever reason. They did like stuff like actual ties, like, you know, cloth ties, and a bunch of other stuff with their logo on it. There's a belt buckle here with the logo, with that big A logo here as well. It's weird. I'm not actually sure what they would have used it for, other than, you know, handing it out as gifts maybe. I don't know. But anyway, it's still just kind of like, it's such a weird little thing to get. And I'm so glad I actually found out what the hell it was, because I would have been searching forever trying to figure out what that logo is. The A. I would have sworn that was something to do with America, not with the German beer company. So still, it's kind of fun. Like, have we got an actual price on this? Not really. I did a bit of luck. I did a bit of like, you know, just looking around, and despite the luck of actually finding out what this is, finding a price on it is really, like, not great. And I mean, as we know, fashion moves on and things fall in and out of it and things go in and out of style. And bolo ties aren't really a thing. Like, you know, the early 80s, yeah, everybody wanted to wear them. Not so much now. Now, I bought this in a thrift store for $4.70 Canadian. I would say because it's vintage and it's maybe kind of cool, I would probably be able to sell it for maybe $10 or $15 US. Hopefully I'll make my money back on it. I'm not going to wear it myself because I have no idea how I would wear this thing. I don't even own a shirt that would actually work with it. It didn't make it that much well. So I'm kind of glad that I found it. I'm certainly glad I found out about it. It is such a strange thing to have found in a thrift store. It's almost as weird as the entire beer tap that we found once. Yeah, it's a thing. Anyway, this is my small joyful thing for today. I hope you enjoyed it as well, and thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.